Imagine school just started. You just made a new friend, and he asks you the age-old question, what's your favorite video game? There's no way on earth that you're gonna say Five Nights at Freddy's.
A bit quirky.
Now don't get me wrong, I love Five Nights at Freddy's, but this game is so hard to be a fan of. It was easy when I was a kid, but right now it's horrible. I don't know how I was supposed to explain to people that Five Nights at Freddy's was my favorite video game. I know people were playing games like 2K and Call of Duty and all this other stuff, but no, I liked that game. When I was a child, Five Nights at Freddy's was really cool. You know, it was a new game, a lot of people were talking about it, everyone knew what it was. But then after a couple of years, you get the weird fans, you know, the fan fictions and that. I think the problem is that Five Nights at Freddy's is usually associated with kids now, because, you know, they have the Five Nights at Freddy's pillow pet, you know, the random plushies, blankets, all that stuff. It's so hard for me to look someone in the eye and be like, oh yeah, purple guy is actually the mimic, which is Springtrap, because he killed because purple guy.
And yellow Freddy, who's yellow and weird. But it's not their fault. It's all because William Afton won.
As people mature, they expect you to play or watch more mature things, like, I don't know, Dune or Invincible, or maybe shows like Jujutsu Kaisen. Things like Lego, for example. They can appeal to kids, yes, but there's a lot of adult themes or things that appeal to adults that make it likable or, I guess, standardized. The problem with FNAF is that it used to appeal to adults. It used to have very adult themes, you know, it dealt with grief and trauma and all this stuff. But then you look at Security Breach and you're like, oh, what is this? What happened here? I feel like the more we get mascot horror like Poppy Playtime or Hello Neighbor, the harder it is to defend. I was at a party the other day for a little cousin that I had, and one of the parents talked to me. They're like, oh yeah, they're obsessed with this thing called Five Nights at Freddy's. They have no idea that I know every single lore and story bit of the entire game. I think the craziest part about Five Nights at Freddy's is that it's a horror series. A horror series that 8-year-olds are addicted to. Things like Poppy Playtime has probably ruined the horror franchise for a lot of people. Although I do still enjoy these games and like to understand the story of them, a lot of them are just embarrassing to like because I feel like it just resonates with children more than adults. I do know that games like Poppy Playtime are trying to go to more adult themes, but I just feel like it's already kind of set its path for the future. Honestly, I thought after watching the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that it would probably make it way easier to talk about the game, but then there was that one scene with the play fort and I kind of lost my mind.
I like it in here.
I feel like the whole movie just kind of made Five Nights at Freddy's a whole joke, and I know that was Scott Cawthon's idea, but it's still just, that's how it made me feel. And I feel like the whole reason why Five Nights at Freddy's was easier to talk about is because of how scary it was, but then once you play games like Security Breach, you just think to yourself, wow, this is not scary at all. I do think that all the memes and jokes have helped it because it makes the community more towards, oh, I like this because it's funny and not because it's scary. Although I do miss the horror aspect of things. It's the reason why I like games like Resident Evil and Inscription, because they're actually scary.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Five Nights at Freddy's was more, it was scary, and then now it's not, and now I don't know what to do with it. Plus now there's weird things like weird animatronic sharks or Faz goo. Yeah, honestly I just hope these games go back to being scary. That's all.